press on the brake some?
I am pressing on the brake.
Are you really?
Yes.
Holy crap. If we didn't have that engine brake, I think it would make me really nervous. You know what?
Really?
Yeah, why? Why do you say that?
Just being facetious.
Lord. Dang. There we go. So that was fun. I realized I'm not videoing enough on our trip, so I wanted to shoot a little video. We just entered Carbon County. We are about 317 miles from Farmington, New Mexico. Which is our intended destination. Although there is a consideration we might stop in Moab, Utah for the night, depending on how things are going and how Greg's feeling. Very windy roads with steep grades. We're not even in the steep grades yet because we haven't seen a grade sign, right?
Yeah, there was one at the top of this hill.
What was it? What was the percent?
It said 3.5 to 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Some of them get 6 and 7. 7, I think, is the highest, isn't it? Look, Muffin, you're on camera. Hi, Muffin. Hi, girl. Go lay down. Go lay down. Good girl. Get in your bag. Get in your carrier. Or not. Muffin is all vocal. What's the matter? Are your ears hurting?
Maybe she's saying, wow.
Wow. Wow. You're so cute.
Yeah, back there, so it could be.
Yeah, well, I couldn't see it that well. Pretty, pretty. Whoa, don't scare me. What the hell?
Come
Oh.
on, jackass.
Honey, I'm videoing.
I was running out of lane and he was sitting beside me.
You didn't see the merge lane?
I did. I don't think he did.
He didn't care.
He just wanted to get around me.
That's
Looks like a good place
gorgeous.
to film a Western.
It does, don't it? There probably was some filmed out here. They filmed a lot of Western scenes in Utah. Actually, just last night we were watching Back to the Future 3, and it was filmed partially in Moab, right?
I think so.
Which is where we're headed. Moab looks a little different than it does through here. Moab is more like red rocks and looks a bit more like New Mexico to me. Like a different place, like not Utah, because it's so different to me. Oh, these curves are crazy.
Yeah.
Everything's going good so far. Muffin's traveling pretty well. She's been very vocal this morning, though. I just gave Greg 2 drops of peppermint, and it opened him up. He can breathe now. The pollen is crazy here in Utah.
Breathe now, probably breathe fire.
Yeah, I gave him 2 drops instead of 1, and I guess it was pretty minty, pretty hot.
Minty fresh.
What, Muffin? These are really pretty rocks too. This is some like is that coal in there, or what is that?
Probably.
Carbon. Maybe that's how Carbon County got its name.
Because the sign back there at the city code that talked about Utah's coal.
This looks like a very steep grade. Oh, is it coal?
Probably.
I mean, no, you said the sign back there said Utah's,
Coal industry.
yeah.
Duchesne.
Is it Duchesne or Duchesne? Dang.
I don't
Are you good to merge?
know. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
It's like the engine brake's trying to hold you back and you're trying to accelerate. That's not a good combination. Muffin baby girl. Hi, baby girl. The truck downshifted just as or the transmission downshifted just as I cut off the camera. Dean's doing much better today. Everybody's riding good except Muffin. She's got a lot to say. I don't know if she likes leaving Utah. We're in a little tiny town.
Called Helper.
If you even want to call it that. Helper.
Yep.
That's the name of the town?
Yep.
There's nothing really here. There are some people here. That must mean Town isn't too far. Oh yeah. Downtown Helper, Spring Canyon, West Helper. So. But there's not much along this stretch from Lehi to Moab. Well, there was, where'd we get off? Provo?
Yeah. More or less.
Well, we got off,
South.
or no, it was the Price exit that we got off on, right?
Yeah, we just get to Price.
Yeah, the Price exit. So. Pretty flat now, thankfully. Not that it's a big deal. The curves combined with the steep grade, that's when it gets a little freaky, but Greg's been doing really good to not make me nervous. Like, he's driving a good speed. All the things. So I've been good. And I try to be better so I don't fuss at him. You know, we're like that old married couple that bicker about the driving and all that. I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to that. What is that? Oh, cute! Oh my gosh!
Too bad you didn't show them.
We should have stopped there.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Not pulling this. There's plenty of places to get stuff like that in Texas. Yard decor. It was big metal yard decor. It was like a big metal chicken and what else did you see?
I just saw the chicken.
Okay, that's pretty much all I saw too. There were some other things though. Hey, we should stop there and trade the camper on the way. Could you imagine unloading this one and putting it in something else? That would not be fun.
Do you have a dumpster?
Just throw it all away and buy
Here.
new. Aw, right in the middle of the road. Poor thing.
Cows.
Yeah.
Got cows.
There's a teepee right up on the top of the hill. Okay, so we just checked in here at the Element in Moab. It's been a heck of a day. We're just not traveling well at all. After yesterday, and Greg's been a bit out of sorts today, I can tell, although he won't admit it. So we're just here in Moab, Utah. This hotel just opened 2 weeks ago, so hopefully not a lot of COVID germs are in here. Gorgeous bathroom. There was a bunch of confusion at check-in, I guess because they have only been open for 2 weeks and I nearly lost my Jesus on them. So, but thankfully I was able to hold it together and I did not. TV in here. Wardrobe closet. Oh, that's up. How snazzy is that? Oh, comforters. Yay. View of the pool, sort of. We were supposed to have a mountain view room. I don't know if you call this mountain view on the bottom floor here. Probably not, but I don't care. We've got 2 beds. That's all that matters. So, huge room. This is crazy. But I'm so excited that they actually have food here at this hotel, so we don't have to go anywhere. Dean,
What?
you want to be on video with me? Why not? Okay, so I figured I would talk a little bit and kind of like vlog our journey, actually, like a video diary. The first day that we left, the goal was to get to Moab. That's about a little over 4 hours drive time, which is actually a little bit longer when you're pulling a 41-foot fifth wheel. So we figure 5, maybe 5.5, depending on how long we had to stop. So day 1 was absolutely miserable. The boy was sick all day. He traveled like a champ, though, considering how sick he was. It was pretty bad, but he traveled like a champion and did what he had to do. He was very miserable. We knew he was very miserable. Like I say, the goal was to get to Moab, but we ended up with a busted axle seal, so we had to actually stop off in Lehi, which is 60 miles from our Grantsville home, and have the tire fixed. So because the boy was so sick and because it was going to be a 2 to 3 hour fix on the truck, we actually just said, you know what, we got to stay here. Like we can't really travel today, which is a good thing because there was still several hours drive time ahead of us. Well, at least 4.5 hours. So thankfully the boy was able to sleep. As soon as we got to him and I went to the room while Greg waited on the truck repair. And the truck repair actually didn't take too terribly long. It was a little over 2 hours, wasn't it? Almost 3. And he stayed with the truck while we Ubered to the hotel, or lifted. I always say Ubered, but it wasn't Uber. They didn't have any drivers available. So we took a lift to the hotel, and Dean went to sleep almost as soon as we got there, and I just hung out and waited on my husband. And he actually hooked up to the camper and came to the campground. Wow, that engine brake, sure. What kind of incline are we on? 5%. 5% grade. Not too terrible, but boy, that engine brake is engaging. Here we have, can I flip the camera? Not during a video, I can't flip it. There's Hole in the Rock. We've always wanted to stop there, and if we had came on through, we were actually trying to make it to Farmington, New Mexico last night, which we did not. But if we had, we would have possibly stopped off here to check it out.
Rest area. Hole in the Rock's on the other side.
Oh, okay. Rest area here. Hole in the Rock is on the other side. I don't think I can get any video of it. Goodness.
I'll give him a gears back.
It's actually a better view from coming the other way. But anyway, I'll go ahead and show some of the scenery while I've got it flipped this way, because I have to stop the video to turn it back the other way. Oh, there we went. Now we're going uphill. The rocks are just amazing. Like this, what? Oh, I thought you started to say something. It's actually so different down here. This looks more like New Mexico to me than where we're from. Where we're from, it looks more like the Rocky Mountains. Is it technically part of the Rockies? It's
Yes.
so, but all these red rocks, and they're not jagged mountains like the Rockies are, and I don't know, it's just like a different world down here. So today we will be traveling a bit through Colorado. do we, what is it, 30 minutes, an hour,
Something.
couple hours? I don't even remember.
It's not long.
We're actually taking the same route back toward Houston that we brought here. The difference is we will head, tell me if I'm wrong, we will head southeast from Dallas instead of going east through Dallas like we would if we were going to Florida. So that's where our route will vary at that point. Otherwise, it's the same route, so we're familiar. Fortunately, I was able to pull up our old, hang on, y'all can look at me for a little bit while I talk to you. Fortunately, I was able to pull up our old portfolio from 2018. This is when it comes in handy that you save everything in your email. I was able to search Albuquerque, and it pulled up an email from 2018 where we stayed at the hotel. Are you purposely getting over? Okay. Okay, just making sure. He loves that I tell him how to drive. So anyway, we were able to find the hotel that we stayed in, and that's where we're going to stay again tonight because it was a really good parking lot. There was restaurants on, pretty much like on property, so we'll be able to get something to eat without having to unhook or Uber or whatever. So that's it. Oh, didn't even realize we were passing these gorgeous rocks, and the reflection on the windshield kind of jacks it up a little bit. It doesn't come in as good as it does in person, but I figured I would share that. And plus the windshield's dirty, so that don't help either. It's a little bit fogged up. Can you slow down a little bit?
Look at the Grand Canyon.
No, it ain't. You can't really tell. So anyway, there we go. Everything covered in snow. We're about 15 minutes from Hole in the Rock, so we haven't traveled very far, but you can see the snow everywhere. You do have your, yeah. Crazy. We're like so far south, and this morning I got up and I put my Converse on. I've worn my snow boots for 2 days and not needed them at all because it was actually a little bit warm even, and well, by Utah standards, not by Florida standards, just full disclosure there. It felt warmer here in the high 30s, low 40s than it does in the high 60s in Florida. But yeah, we totally weren't expecting this. So I'm wearing my Converse shoes, which are the same ones I broke my leg in 2019. So we're gonna try not to do that again, but totally not expecting all the snow. Apparently this area doesn't get a whole lot of snow, but it looks like it has over the last day or so at least. Bless you, Bubby.
Thank you.
Red Rock way out there. Snow on the top of it. What city are we closest to? Do you know?
Monticello.
Okay, we're closest to Monticello, between... Thankfully, it was a boost tube and it did not blow. It just came loose. So Greg is tightening that right now. And hopefully no issues because we're in the middle of nowhere.
That was about an hour into our trip.
Okay, so that sound you just heard and the cussing in unison was a blown boost tube, we thought. But thankfully, it just came off. So didn't blow. Thankfully, Greg replaced it while we were in Florida last year with my dad. And only took him a minute to tighten it, and thankfully it was a place where we could pull off. If we had something like that happen here, we would be in a lot of trouble because I don't know about getting off on the side of the road there. I'd say no.
I'd say no.
And the only option would be to plug up the lane. but thankfully we had a passing lane and we were also able to get onto the shoulder, so that was good. Anyway. It is 10:20 a.m. We just crossed into Colorado. Bye, Utah. Okay, I felt like I should probably film this. This might be the last time we see snow. We just left. What's the name of that city? Tomahawk. Tuawak, something like that. Colorado. The Ute Travel Center, where I just checked in, where we bought the what you call it, the barbecue pork skins from Turkey Creek Snacks. Anyway, we're probably, what, 10 miles outside of Cortez, Colorado? Something like that. And now it's turned into rain. So it keeps going back and forth between rain and snow. The sun's breaking through, or trying to. We got some blue skies up there, so I think we're just catching a little bit of it. We've only been in it maybe 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. There's actually a light coating of snow out there on that flat land. None on the mountains over here, though. That's kind of odd, isn't it? That must mean it hasn't snowed recently. So, 3 hours, 30 minutes to Albuquerque. Okay, we are... Where do you see it?
I think it's up here.
We're about to enter New Mexico. It is 11:55 a.m. Do you remember what time it was, Colorado?
No.
Seems like it was around, I don't know, 10:30? I don't know. I said it in the video, I'm sure.
That might have been it back there.
Okay, I guess that was it back there. There's a sign there. I wonder what that one says.
Oh, let's go see.
Okay. Probably nothing major. Anyway, we're already in New Mexico, and
Welcome to the Navajo Nation.
yes, there's a lot of Indian tribes around here, so you have to be careful when you get off the road if you're on Indian land.
That's right, sucks.
We are 2.5 hours away from Albuquerque, New Mexico, at 6,000 feet, and we've got snow on the ground. All out there. I wonder if they are protecting a crop. That's a crop field. I see the sprayers. I wonder if they sprayed it last night, and that's why. There's nothing out here, and I wonder if it's because of the green grass, because I know in our yard the snow would melt off the green grass before it would melt off the brown stuff. I don't know. Weird. Where are we at? We're an hour from Albuquerque, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we're in major snow here, looks like. Is that more like frozen rain?
Yeah. A patchy nugget.
No, it looks like little, no, it's not rain or it'd be wet in the windshield. It must be little ice balls. The mountains are covered. Oh, good Lord. The mountains are covered. So it's been snowing here a lot, apparently. We just figured out why we're getting snow. It's because we're at 7,000 feet. We went from it being extremely sunny and pretty, blue skies, puffy clouds, to this. This is probably the last time I'm going to see snow. Unless I vacation somewhere that has it. Yeah, this is a lovely road. snow lasted maybe 15 minutes or so. We just crested the Rocky Mountains and crossed over the Continental Divide, so it should be a lot more downhill, lower elevations. We reached 7380, I believe was the top elevation we've reached.
Yep.
Just a few minutes ago, just a few seconds ago, as we were crossing the divide. So, roads are wet, but it could be worse. We've experienced worse already today. So this is good. Less than an hour into destination. Okay, so in little tiny ice balls. See how they kind of roll on the hood? Instead of land like a snowflake would, they kind of roll when they hit. Third time's a charm. Okay, so today we're starting to wonder if this is a sign from God that we need to stay our butts in Utah. I don't know. Today, I guess it could have been worse, really, because honestly, what the deal was, and for those of you who followed our journey out here in 2018, out to Utah, we actually, just 40 miles outside of Amarillo, we blew a boost tube. The truck was, at the time, 10 years old, and the boost tube had probably deteriorated to the point that it needed to be replaced. So it blew a hole in the boost tube. So Greg and I are driving, or we're all driving along, and all of a sudden we hear that loud boom, which sounds like a gunshot, sort of. It's very loud. You think you blew something up. And we both said an expletive in unison, which you'll see earlier in this video if you watch the whole thing. What happened was, instead of blowing a hole in the boost tube, it just popped off. And then when you don't have a boost tube, you actually lose all power. So there's no way. I mean, you could limp it for a mile or so, but that's pushing it seriously. Like, it has no go. And pulling the weight that it is, probably couldn't have limped, quite honestly. So thankfully, when Greg got out and looked at it, as soon as he looked at me, he breathed a sigh of relief, and so I knew it wasn't too terrible. So it had just popped off. So all he had to do was take a wrench and tighten it. And this was the top boost tube. The one we blew a hole in 2018 was the bottom, and we had to replace it on that trip out here. And then he actually replaced the top boost tube in 2019 while Dean and I were in Florida taking care of my dad after his surgery. So it's only been a little over a year, about a year and a half, since that one was replaced. Well, so the top one is the one that popped off, but it had been replaced in 2019. So we're traveling along our way, and it actually happened 2 more times with the top one and once with the bottom. We were literally 5 miles away. We all had already had it. I mean, this was a long day. It was about an 8-hour drive. We didn't even stop for lunch. We actually just grabbed snacks from the convenience store and ate on the way. So we stopped very little. We did stop a couple times to, some of us use the bathroom and to walk around just for a second, you know, just to stretch our legs a little bit. Other than that, we didn't stop. We drove all the way through, and for the traffic was horrible. For it to happen 5 miles down the road from the hotel, I was over it by that point. So 4 times this happened. Thankfully, no hole in the boost tubes. That's the big thing. So we were able to get here. Greg said that the boost tube, it's very tight normally. It's a really thick, hard rubber tube, and they're about that big around, I believe, if I remember correctly. And they're very hard. So Greg said ours are mushy. So that tells him that probably the contracting and what's the word I'm trying to think of? The swelling and the contracting due to heat and cold, probably compromised the integrity of the rubber. So he's actually got 2 of them on call. He's going to go pick them up in the morning at 9:30 and put them on, brand new ones. So hopefully we won't have any more trouble. It's just a big load. We have that camper loaded down. The camper itself, I think, weighs 15,000 pounds. And the crap that's in it, I mean, I don't know. It's very heavy. So going up these hills, we have a lot of, now we're kind of past all that point, but it's a lot of up and down. So the turbos would tack out, and it was just a lot of struggle. Like sometimes we would even be struggling to reach the top of the hill, depending on how fast we were going when we started on the incline. So we're hoping that from here on out, it'll be more downhill. Well, we know it's more downhill because we're in Albuquerque right now. So it's a lot more downhill. We've already come down like 2,000 feet since all this happened, except for the one that happened down the street. So anyway, it's been crazy. And, you know, you have to question, when is God telling you to stay put? And when is he telling you that, okay, I'm going to throw some adversity at you and see how you handle it? And, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. We have to go to Houston. So anyway, just prayers that we can make it. I think tomorrow was originally going to be a 9-hour trip, and I told Greg I just can't do it. Like, I'm over it. Like, I am so over it. I don't know. We said when we came out here in 2018 that we would not pull this camper again, that we would have them transport it, and I don't know why we didn't. I'm already regretting it. I mean, it would have been a nice drive with just the truck, but I'm regretting it. I even told him I would set up a shipper to meet us somewhere and pick it up from us and take it the rest of the way. But anyway, so I think we're turning. Tomorrow was going to be a 9-hour trip. Instead, it's going to be about a 4. And then on the plus side, Muffin traveled very well today. We actually kept her in her carrier for the majority of the trip, and she did very, very well. She wasn't freaked out. She didn't meow a lot. She just rested in her carrier. So that was really good. So she's wandering around the room now. She's not acting crazy or anything. She's just been very good today. She meows a lot and goes back and forth between windows and windows and windows, you know, in the truck when she's loose. So we're thinking in the carrier is a good way to travel. So today has really tested our patience. Greg even yelled at me, which he never does, and it pissed me off. So then I went and talked to him, and then he apologized. So we're all good now, but he never yells at me, but he did, because I was, you know, I was being my typical self, and he was already stressed out. He was very stressed today. He was trying to hide it very well, but he was very stressed, and he was white knuckling it the whole way, two-handed white knuckles the whole way, because we had a lot of ice on the roads. We had a lot of snow. We didn't think we were going to be faced with that, so that was kind of surprising. When we came through Monticello, it was very icy. It was 27 degrees, so there was ice all over the roads. It was horrible. And then in Albuquerque, it snowed a lot. The roads were wet. It was just really dark and snowy and yucky. And that, you know, that makes Greg nervous pulling that big load and everything. Rightly so, because it's a big rig. So the whole thing together. So from here on out, we shouldn't run into any snow, I don't think. I mean, it did snow like right outside of Albuquerque. So we might have a little bit tomorrow, but it shouldn't be bad. And we are continuing our descent. I don't remember what our elevation is, but I think we're in the 5,000s. We got up to 7,800, I believe it was, elevation. So, or maybe it was 7,300. I'm not sure, but at the Continental Divide, it's like the highest point that we were at. And then we've been declining ever since. So we're in the 5s somewhere now, which is not much higher than the elevation we lived at in Grantsville. So anyway, I could see the camper outside of our window here. So we can kind of keep an eye on it tonight. And he'll go in the morning and get it fixed. It literally takes maybe 10 minutes to switch out a boost tube. It's super quick. It's like 2 clamps and you're done. So, and then we'll be on our way. And like I say, my goal is just Amarillo, 4 hours away. So, and to take it easy. That's the key, is to drive easy and not pop another boost tube. So, but hopefully with the new ones, it won't be a problem. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Maybe I'll try some more vlogging tomorrow, like during the trip. I'm still trying to get a feel for all this and see how the best way to do it. But I hope you enjoyed the videos, and please, you know, comment, give us any feedback. Let me know if you have any experience with boost tubes. Once we get this sucker to Houston, the camper's going up for sale. We're done. We are done with that thing. It's so big. So we're gonna sell it and be camper free for a little while until we figure out what we wanna do. So we're more hotel people anyway, let's be honest. We love to stay in hotels because, you know, we can go wherever. When we're done at the hotel, we just pack our stuff and go. So that's more our speed. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. That way you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Okay, thanks. Bye.